Hello there, welcome to Club Nintendo, level 208. How are we doing, Aaron?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. And John, welcome.
I'm doing equally as good as Aaron.
That's good.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. I wouldn't know how to judge my goodness compared to how someone's innermost feelings senses their goodness, you know.
You're playing
So-
too much Persona.
I really am, yeah. We're diving into that a little bit later because I've played a lot of Persona.
You need to
Hey,
get in touch
Aaron,
with your inner person. Okay.
Yeah. You really get in touch with your inner
energy.
person with Persona. I know, Aaron, you've played like 5 minutes of it just to see how it works.
No, I played more than 5 minutes. I played,
Okay.
I don't know, maybe... I told you how far I got into the story.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you went a fair bit. Yeah, okay.
And I
Yeah,
stopped a little bit after that.
Okay, well, we'll have to dive into it a little bit later because it's one fantastic game. It's good. Okay, let's start with what do you guys want to do? Game Awards or this Activision Microsoft nonsense?
Oh, let's talk about the Activision stuff.
So it's been a fun week for Microsoft. I got it. So late, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday night when I was sit there. What's his name? Mr. Major Nelson. What's his name?
Yeah, Major Nelson. I don't know his real name, but
From Activision? Or from
no, he's like an
Microsoft?
Xbox guy.
Phil Spencer?
Yes, that's
Wait,
the
no,
dude.
that's a different person. Major Nelson is more like social media guy.
Oh, that's right. But it was Phil
yeah.
Spencer, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The CEO of
Phil Spencer's
Microsoft
the head-
Gaming.
the head-
Yeah, that's
head
Phil
of
Spencer.
Yeah.
Xbox.
He tweeted out, we're so proud of Nintendo into this 10-year agreement when we acquire Activision to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo for 10 whole years. And Steam as well, And the Steam guy was like, we don't need any agreement, It's like, okay. And then the very next day, the FTC has this letter issuing their statement that we're going to sue Microsoft for this proposed requirement because we believe they're lying as far as exclusivity, as they've done in the past with Bethesda. And kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's kind of a big deal, but it's also kind of just like, well, what are you going to do? You shouldn't have lied. I mean...
And then the EU came out and said that they didn't lie. It's getting really messy with all this, and it's interesting too, the whole Nintendo angle. I have fond memories of Call of Duty Ghosts on my Wii U and Black Ops 2. Both of those fantastic games on the Wii U. Really great off TV play, really fun experiences, I must say.
I mean, there's a lot of Activision Nintendo history. Like, there's a lot of it. Especially back in the license games days, even before Call of Duty. So they've worked together. They got the Tony Hawk games. I'm pretty sure they still are doing so
the Crash Bandicoots and Spyro games are on there.
It's interesting that they whip out this Call of Duty card out of nowhere when. Only when they need to, I guess, to make a case.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're about to get sued. Let's announce this right before. I'm sure they call wind of this.
PlayStation hasn't agreed to anything yet. They've made them offers, and Sony still has just left it on the table and kind of
no.
Yeah,
they're playing hard to get. They don't want this deal to go through.
Yeah, obviously.
Because honestly, what's 10 years in gaming? That's like one generation of consoles.
It's enough for them to build up what they're moving towards, which is gaming on anything. I mean, we saw at the Game Awards, you could play Xbox on anything. It's like
on
you can
TV.
play it on your TV. You can play,
Yeah.
That's where it's gonna be in a decade. It's gonna be whatever has a chip in it and a screen. You're gonna be playing games on that thing. Like, it's gonna have the capability. It'll have old people like us who are still sitting in front of our big screens and our consoles and our controllers. But all the little
And I
kids,
still
man,
want. Yeah, we'll have to talk about it with the backbone, but I still think I'll want it locally because there's moments where you just like pick up and play. It's just faster, not even to worry about it. Did this on the Switch especially? Did this game save? It doesn't matter. I'm just putting it to sleep. and that's such a big deal with pick up and play. You know, just like turn it on, play for 5 minutes, put it to sleep, wake it back up.
I don't see this not going through. Like that's my perspective.
I kind of agree. I mean, I'm not sure if the FTC has a case. I mean, it sucks because, like, you know, Nintendo and Sony seem to have the approach of we're going to partner with studios for like a decade plus as second parties. Once we know we're a good fit, and you know, we'll acquire you, or build up studios from scratch. Microsoft's just like, you're a big third party. We can buy you, right? It seems like it's just a more blunt approach from what Sony and Nintendo have done in the past. Except for the only outlier would be the Destiny Bungie acquisition. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of just how things are now. I mean, if you look outside of like the video game industry, that's what every other company does.
Oh, I know. So. I mean, and Microsoft's already, to me, feels like they're the outsiders still. Like, you know, they've been here forever, but they're still like the American company that doesn't really, you know, they get gaming sort of in their own unique way, but it feels like they're a bit different. They're their own unique butterfly.
I mean, the whole thing, other than if you're not going to have exclusivity, what's the point of even buying Activision? Like, you know,
same reason.
Obviously,
the same reason Sony acquired Bungie for their expertise in like creating free to play games is why they acquired it, just for their like know-how, and they can help with their other teams.
They already bought Bethesda. They have a great. They
do.
Studio
they have so many studios, and they're doing nothing with them.
Yeah, like crazy games. So what? What is their? You know, obviously they make money. Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I'm sure they make tons of money.
I think they do plan on keeping it just to like their system or like their platform at some point, because they did say to Sony, they were like, look at like Nintendo, you know, they've survived without Call of Duty for so many years.
It seems like a different platform, very much so, like adult focused versus like the family gaming machine.
Like, see, you don't need us. You don't need us.
Yeah.
Look at Nintendo.
Nintendo's fine. Oh, that's funny. Wow. Well, which raises a point. Do they like? Who does it really matter if Call of Duty's only on Xbox? Is that a? Do you guys
I think it does. There are some gamers that buy a PlayStation and buy like Call of Duty and Madden. Maybe, I don't know. Like they buy just like, I don't know.
I always remember Xbox being the Call of Duty and the like the Tom Clancy system.
I mean, currently PlayStation is the most popular place to play Call of Duty for the past generation, and
But
you know, PS4 onwards. That's how it's been.
it's only because they have the most systems. You know, the games have been on both.
Fair,
right?
fair, yes.
So, you know, I don't know. I don't want it to happen. I feel it makes me, I don't know. It's like,
yeah, it's like after this, are they going to try to acquire Ubisoft and EA and just call it a day and have no third parties? Notes left?
Probably they already have them on like Xbox Game Pass. So
yeah, they do. Oh, yeah, they have EA access and is there Ubisoft, whatever.
Yeah.
So they don't really need to acquire them to have the same results within Game Pass.
Yeah.
Interesting.
More console exclusives, you know, it would just create more console exclusives, which from a Nintendo point of view, I'm really used to that already.
I'm too.
And I'm also used to not getting stuff. I'm used to it on both sides. I'm used to getting a bunch of Nintendo stuff that no one else gets, and I'm used to watching everyone else have a ton of games that I never got. From Nintendo's point of view, they're just like, "Oh, Call of Duty for 10 years. Yeah, we'll take that. That sounds great." To them, they don't even care. Like Sony's the ones that's like holding out, but
yeah,
because they have their lobbyists and they're trying to block this as hard as humanly possible. It seems like we'll see if it works. It seems like they're at least delaying it, because the thing is, I guess if it gets delayed past August, this won't go through because of how the contract's written, and Microsoft will owe Activision $3 billion if it doesn't close by August, which they're getting sued and they get this delayed. We'll see if actually it just gets delayed to the point where it doesn't go through in time.
It's pretty big. I mean, if the FTC is involved, I'm sure it's going to be like, pretty quick for them to get
I would think so. Get a hearing.
Of course, then they can always appeal it and then keep it going on and on and on.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to see. Do you think it would be the Call of Duty mainline series or would it be Call of Duty Mobile? Would it just. I'm curious what they plan to do. Like, if Switch Pro launches by the time Call of Duty is acquired, then it might be easier to do such things.
I mean, you can see what they did in the past with the Wii. They always had like a stripped down version of Call of Duty for the Wii, or the
Wii U one felt pretty full featured. Am I mistaken?
Yeah, but that's only because there was that slight overlap because Nintendo launched a year early based on.
That's right. Yeah, it was like a PS3 internally.
Yeah, and it took PS3 or it took PS4 and Xbox a year or two to really get things rolling. So there was those couple years where they could put the same games, and they did for some.
Yep.
Like that Spider-Man game.
That's right.
And like you said, Ghost and what was the other ones that came?
Black Ops 2 was the other Call of Duty. Yeah,
they were okay. It was cool having two screens. They ran pretty well.
They did, and off-screen TV play was like fantastic with those as well.
I would rather see them.
Did those two local multiplayer? We could
take a mobile game and just scale it up for Switch. I think that'd be better than like.
I think they should do that, yeah, because like the Call of Duty Mobile is actually pretty good. I play that a lot.
I want the campaigns though. That's what I love about Call of Duty the most is just playing those.
I feel like that's the thing no one does in Call of Duty.
I'm a single player guy. That's the thing I love. It's like let me have these short, succinct campaigns that are not going to take me 100 hours to do. And it's like a blockbuster movie. It's like a very polished experience most of the time. So that's what I love most about them. So I hope we get that kind of thing back. Something of curiosity is the Harry Potter game. They're doing a very, I think, mature thing of having 3 different release dates. They have a February release date for current gen of PS5 and the series X and S. Then they have a different release date in April for the PS4 and Xbox One. And then I think in June or July, they have a third release date for Switch. So they're spending the time to optimize this game for each of the different platforms. So I'm curious. I hope the Switch version might actually run halfway decent if they're spending that much time to really focus in on that particular SKU,
Well, it's going to run better than Pokemon, but
that's a given, yeah. and Sonic Frontiers as well.
Maybe. Who's making this game? What studio is this?
Warner Brothers something or other.
Warner Brothers Interactive.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean it's a promising sign. It's the last one to come out, or is it the second to last one? It's the last one.
It's the last SKU by several months, yeah. And I wonder if they're like, Switch Pro might be out by then because, the crazy rumor I heard is maybe Zelda will be cross-platform and the Switch Pro launch title.
I don't think we're getting one.
No.
The next Nintendo system, I think, the soonest would be like next fall.
Okay. That's because historically Zelda has been the crossover title with the GameCube to Wii and the Wii U to Switch. So that's. But we live in strange times. I mean, the supply chain's getting better, but it's still not there.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the soonest I... go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, I was just wondering, why is it taking so long for them to make Zelda? I mean, I know we had COVID, but even then, it was taking a long time.
Dude, how did we not see Zelda at the freaking Game Awards?
Yeah.
We didn't see a trailer?
We saw a montage of a bunch of trailers, which was a clip of stuff we already saw. This is like the fourth. This is what I said. This is like the 4th time we've seen the same freaking trailer. I swear.
Yeah. Yep. Oh gosh. Should we talk about Game Awards?
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing I get confused about in Game Awards is they have paid for advertisements that are game trailers, and they play those right after part of the show trailers. There's no like they should have like a little banner in the corner. This is an ad, or this is part of the show, because it gets very confusing. Oh, that's an exciting thing. Oh, that's a paid for ad that someone just put some money in to put on there. So that gets confusing with the Game Awards, I must say.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have a problem kind of telling it apart, but
I didn't think I needed to tell apart because I'm just there for the game. You know, I'm there for all of it. Like if it's to me, it's all an ad, and that's okay. Like that's what I'm there for. I'm there to see the new games. It's like a winter E3, and that's kind of cool. Like it's become like a winter E3.
Yeah, this was the best I've ever seen them do it. It was engaging pretty much the entire show. Mm-hmm. Like other shows, it just dragged on and wasn't at all interesting. Like last year, it was, oh my gosh. This year, there were substantial announcements throughout. It was good.
There was a lot of stuff this year. Some things were weird. So some things are weird. It's a weird show. We were talking about this. It's kind of weird because watching the pre-show, they're doing a lot of announcements that I felt like a lot of awards that I'm like, this could be in the thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times no one was on stage and they were always facing away from the audience. They do this thing where like they're talking like away from the audience, and I just did not understand it. Oh, and then that guy accepted the award for like best voice acting and took like
it was the first award.
It was the first award, and it took like literally over.
Aaron, do you have a time clock? How long was that one?
It was like 8 minutes. It was I think it was like 8.
And they started to play the music, and that just made his speech sound more epic, and he kept on going.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh,
it's like, oh, they're playing music for me. Oh, yes, because I'm Kratos, and I will make this sound even better, more epic." Oh my god!
I was like, dude. Oh, what is going on? I just like cannot still be talking about this right now.
You know, when I saw him up on stage, like, oh, this is Kratos. I mean, look at it. He is Kratos. He's big, and he he was great. He's great in God of War. But that's quite the speech. Yeah.
He's got a great voice. I'm sure he's great.
Is he a real actor as well, besides voice acting?
15% of the game.
Yes, he is a real actor. Yes.
I wonder if they announced I think it's a live action TV series. I don't know if they would cast him for the actual role.
Not anymore. No, they don't want him to win anything and then have to go on stage.
You've ruined it by talking too long. Yeah. Oh gosh. God of War cleaned up, as well as Elden Ring were the two kind of big winners of the night.
Yeah, speaking of, I was going to say, we were talking before about big games. PlayStation really ruled. Like
they did.
They did. Like
so many announcements and winners.
Yeah, it was all PlayStation. I feel like it was not all.
Related to Xbox's terrible week, so they had nothing at Game Awards, quite literally, except for some ads about Game Pass. And then the day before or night before, they announced the price hike to $70 as well. So, and then the FTC suing them. Like, this was one just horrible week for Microsoft.
But they do have that new game I am interested in.
The No Man's Sky, but by Bethesda.
No, it's made by some of the Rick and Morty guys. Some of the Squanch Games. Oh, I forgot the name. Oh man, it doesn't matter because I don't have it doesn't matter because I don't even have an Xbox. And
you have a phone that can stream it, though. I'm sure.
Can you do that?
Yeah,
you can just stream it without. I just need an account.
Many of the games you can, and then you just pop Backbone onto your phone.
Wait, it's cloud streaming?
Yeah,
most of them that are Xbox exclusive.
This is interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It's part of their Play Everywhere.
That's the future thing. Yeah.
That's the most annoying thing about Game Pass is the promise I was hoping for every game I purchased from the Xbox store back in the Xbox One days, that I could just stream it. And even some Xbox exclusive games aren't enabled for that. The one I really want to play back is that remember that TV show / video game game? What was it called? I forget the name.
Do you
know what I'm talking about, Aaron?
That one? Are you smart? What's that?
No, no,
Isn't that a
no,
TV show game?
no. It was
Wait,
it was part of their initial. It was part of their initial releases
I have no
where
idea.
they have
Jeopardy?
these. What's that?
Jeopardy.
No,
Wait, what is this?
no. I'm going to look it up now.
What are we even talking about? Game show games?
Yeah, game
We
show.
are. This is a tangent on a different thing. Quantum Break is the one that still is not on streaming. It's annoying me because I played like 10 hours and my Xbox One just collected dust and I forgot to turn it back on to finish it.
That was a game show game? I thought that was like...
It's not a game show game. It was a game that was a part of their initial TV integration where they're like, this is the TV box that also does gaming.
Yeah.
And this game had like these like TV episodes like within the game.
Yeah. But that was
really well done from what I
slow down
experienced.
Time and stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Really well done from what I experienced. I'd love to finish that one day. Anyways.
Game show game.
Yeah, game show games. So Castlevania is back with Dead Cells. I thought this was just fascinating that Konami is willing to work with companies on this.
Looks pretty interesting.
They announced that at the Game Awards?
They did? The pre-show, I think.
Remember. Oh, okay. I missed some of the pre-show.
It was interesting that a lot of the stream said starts at 7:30, and then they show up. It's like, this is the pre-show. Why don't you announce the actual time of the thing? Okay.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff in the pre-show, I thought it could just be the show. I just thought it would, Was
Hades 2 pre-show?
I don't recall.
Okay.
No, I don't think so. I think that was later on.
I finally purchased Hades 1 on the Switch. I think it was like $12.49 when I got it. So that was the best price. I think Sony had it for like $15, down from $25. And I've only heard amazing things about this, so that's in my queue at some point in the near future. I'm very excited. And Hades 2, I think people are pretty excited about this one as well. This is the first sequel Super Giant's ever done. Which makes sense, because the first one sold a bazillion copies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't played this. But
Neither of you, Aaron, have you?
Nope.
I've heard really, it's fantastic stuff about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you interested in this at all, Aaron?
Yeah, I think I should play it. I'll probably just go buy it soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I got this on Switch, because it seems like a perfect little Switch indie game.
Does it run well on Switch?
From what I've heard, it does, yeah.
No limitations? It's not half the frame rate?
It is not. It's no Sonic Frontier.
Nice. Cool.
I like the resolution.
I mean,
yeah.
It's not 4K, but I don't need 4K on a Switch for it.
What about maybe not on the handheld, but what about if you put it on TV?
I mean, I'm sure it'll look better on your PS5 if you're going that route,
Yeah.
But
yeah, probably.
Yep. Kevin Levine, creator of BioShock, and that's Judas, which looks an awful lot like BioShock.
Yeah, I wonder if this guy's ever going to make a different game, because I feel like, the game looks good, but I don't really want to buy it at launch, because I feel like I've already played it.
He has been teasing this forever, and I thought it'd be something new as far as like the idea.
Yeah.
I still need to play BioShock. I've heard this is like it's a classic. I've never played it.
Oh man, you gotta play it.
Yeah,
that game still looks good to this day.
Yeah,
have you played it, John?
Yeah, I have. I played back on the Xbox back in the day.
Wow, it's worth playing.
Oh, it's worth playing. You can get like the trilogy for like cheap, I think.
Yeah.
I probably own it on my PlayStation. I think I got like a collection of something.
It might be on the like PlayStation, whatever they, PlayStation Play Plus. Whatever.
Yeah, I might have redeemed it. It might have been on the Central tier back in the day. So I think it's probably my collection. I need to spend the time doing it.
I know it's on Switch too.
I just have such a hard time getting into scary games.
So it's not really that scary. I would say it's more of like
it's got a mood
thriller. Yeah, it has like an atmosphere.
An atmosphere.
But it's not
that's
really
the word.
Scary.
Okay,
yeah, definitely got an atmosphere.
Okay,
it's a trip, man. It's cool.
Nintendo had an announcement. Bayonetta Origins, Syriza and the Last Demon, coming out in March of 2023. So very quickly after Bayonetta 3 hit. And this is a very different style game. This is looked like an art. What's the best style you can say for this?
It kind of reminded me of what was that one with the girl and she would like float around and something of the light. Remember that game? It was like a couple years ago.
Child of Light.
Yeah, Child of Light. That's what it kind of looked like. It was kind of like hand drawn kind of stuff.
Yeah. Seems interesting. I still need to pick up Bayonetta 3 at some point. But yeah, that was one of the announcements from Nintendo. Was that the only big new game announcement from Nintendo? The show?
I think so.
They had the Mario trailers.
Oh, yeah. They did the Mario trailer. That was. It was not even a trailer. It was like a clip from the show.
The first clip. That's right.
Yeah. And that movie, that is going to be phenomenal. That was so good. It's perfect.
And then they won for was like most anticipated game for Zelda.
For Zelda.
Still didn't show anything.
They didn't show anything.
That's why it's anticipated. They don't show anything.
Well, I was anticipating it. I thought it came out in March, honestly. I don't know where I got that from. So that's why I was kind of disappointed. I'm like, it's coming out in March, and I thought this would be like the big beginning of like the March to release. And I was like, nope, we're not.
March was the original Breath of the Wild.
Maybe that's why. Well, maybe that's why I got it mixed up.
Yeah, so Breath of the Wild 2, Tears of the Kingdom, coming out in May. Mm-hmm. And then Splatoon 3 won Best Multiplayer Game, John.
Yeah.
I know. I was shocked. I was
because
like,
people have not been thrilled with the stability of this game.
Of what? Splatoon 3?
Yeah, they get a lot of disconnects and stuff, is what I've heard.
You get a lot of.
It's fair enough.
A lot of disconnects when you play with your friends more than you play with other people for some reason.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's not cool.
It's not cool. I mean, it's not fun. It's not like disconnects, and most of it's not disconnects during games. From my experience, it's after you finish a match.
Yes, like that's what I've experienced too.
Jump back into the next match, and he goes disconnect. And I'm like, okay, and you just go back and create a new lobby or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just not expecting it because I don't know, like it's up against Call of Duty and it was up against Overwatch 2. Like, come on. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. And then it won.
Yeah.
I was like, woo, yay. I felt good.
Mm-hmm.
And I played that night to celebrate. Yeah, that's cool. Good for Splatoon. Good for Splatoon. Right? Good for a Japanese game because I know Japanese games don't get a lot of the multiplayer love.
Yep.
Like the Western games do a lot of the times. They get a lot of the RPG love, but not a lot of the multiplayer love. So this is cool. I guess Splatoon's not going anywhere. So,
no. Yeah. And Kirby won Best Family Game. Good job, Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
What is defined as a family game?
I mean, I don't really know because last year the game that won was a game about divorce. So that seems a little heavy for a family to play that.
Which game was it last year? Was it?
It Takes Two.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you play that? That would be traumatic.
I mean, that is a family game, though. It's a family going through divorce.
It seems a bit not suitable for children kind of game.
No, it's about a family. It's a family game.
Indeed.
I mean, some of these games, like Wii Sport, or what do they call it now? Switch Sports.
Switch Sports, yeah.
Like, what are these Are these just games you can play with your family?
I guess multiple multiplayer.
Splatoon was in there. No, because Splatoon was in there too. So I'm like, oh, cool. So yeah,
there's no local multiplayer in Splatoon, is there?
No. There should be 2 copies of Splatoon 3 and 2 consoles in their house. This is a family game.
Yeah, evidently. How cool would it be if there was split screen Splatoon? That'd be great.
Wait, I thought there was like a mode that you can do.
In the original, there was when you could use the gamepad. No, I don't think
so.
I saw something in the trailer. Huh? Who knows?
The first one, because the gamepad, there was a mode. It was like its own weird mode that wasn't much fun. No, I mean you could do it, but you'd have to be on the same team as somebody. You couldn't be on an opposing team because you'd be able to see where they're at, and
yeah, the cheating.
That's a big part of cheating.
The old days of GoldenEye. You got to look at their screens, you know.
I mean, there's things like the point sensor you can throw and to get people's location and stuff. But now, if you always saw where they were, it would definitely change the game a lot. So
yeah. Continuing with March being crazy this year, especially if you're on PC, Last of Us Part 1 is coming to PC in March. So that'll be a fine experience there. You've been enjoying it, John, on PS5?
Yeah, it's really fun. It's really cool.
Right?
It's really sad.
Have you cried yet?
No, I've not cried yet. I'm not too far in it because I've been a little busy this week.
Okay.
Probably like an hour and a half into it, maybe like 2 hours into it now.
See, I always cry, John, right before the opening credits hit. That opening prologue. Every time I played it three times or so. Every time I'm in tears by the end of that opening.
So I started playing that game, the original, like the remastered version, not part 1,
the PS4 edition.
Yeah, and I realized that the part. I don't want to ruin a lot of people who haven't played it.
Yeah,
the prologue part where you're like running, and then you meet that person.
Yes,
underneath the bridge. That's where I would take walks back in Austin. That bridge.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like a real bridge.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Pretty cool.
That's crazy.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I'm super impressed with the visuals. This is like my first time playing it, so I'm starting with the PS5 version.
I'm so glad you did that, because like that, if you're gonna experience it for the first time, do it in the best way you can.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the 3D audio is pretty cool, especially in the beginning when you're in like the back seat of the car and you're like looking around and you can do like a full 360 and literally it's just tracking the audio as you're moving around. It's super cool.
And as you get later into the game, it's gonna be super handy for knowing where enemies are coming at you from. So if like something's coming from behind you, you can like.
Oh yeah, I mean, already walking around and and moving this merchandise I got. I guess what am I doing? I'm
traveling,
trafficking. Okay, I was gonna say I'm trafficking this child.
Yes.
There's spots where I'm already like, I can hear back behind this wall, and as I turn, I can tell which direction they're in. The motion controls are pretty good.
Good. Yeah.
I turned them on within about 30 minutes. I like them because it only enables them when you're shooting. It's not when you're walking around. So
and it's like additive, so you can use the joystick and then kind of Splatoon 2 it, or 3 where you fine tune it.
It's good for exactly. It's good for just like doing quick turns and kind of getting like the gun in the right direction.
Yeah.
And it's got a good amount of physics. Like you don't just like you feel the weight of moving your arm when you twist it, and like it's got to bounce back a little bit. Like it's really it's cool. Yeah. Yeah,
this will be what I jump into after I finish God of War, I think. I got the PS5 version as well when it was on sale, and I want to experience this before the
Oh, wait, you got The Last of Us part? You got the
I did.
PS5?
The PS5 edition, yeah.
Dang,
I'm going to have to get it.
Because I want to experience it before the January show starts dropping.
Yeah.
Are you going to get it on PC, Aaron, or are you going to get it on PlayStation?
PlayStation, man. I love my PlayStation now.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Love or not.
I spent so much time on that thing. Did you see my playtime?
I did. I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, it's only been like 2 weeks.
It's been 1 month as of today. I've had my PS5 and I've already spent 140 hours.
Crazy.
When I first got mine playing Spider-Man, that's how I was. I was just like playing it and drooling the whole time. And just like spinning webs and stuff. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I think in the next episode we'll have to share a bit of our year in review stats we got from the different platforms.
Yeah.
So there's some interesting things in there. Yeah.
I don't know how accurate. I gotta look at the PlayStation one. I'm sure it's just mostly Spider-Man and Gran Turismo, but I don't know how accurate the Nintendo ones are from what I saw. I guess we can talk about it later.
Yeah. Returnal is also coming to PC. They announced, so all the awesome PlayStation games making their way over to PC, which is good. Earthblade, which is a killer name. It reminds me of Earthbound a bit. Earthblade. It's a good name. From the makers of Celeste is coming out in 2024. So this is the most far out announcement of the show.
Yeah, it looked really cool, but I was kind of upset that they even said anything. I was like, why?
It's like, wait till the next, Game Awards,
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know about it, you're not waiting for it.
And as John said earlier, Sony dominated this show, and Death Stranding 2 is announced. And boy, does this look beautiful. And it's exclusive for PS5. I'm sure it'll hit PC as well. But I do own the PS5 edition of this original game, and I need to play it because it's been on my list for a while. I've been wanting to play it. So I'm excited to walk the world as a parcel delivery person as I do in real life.
Yeah, that's what I hear. I haven't played it, but it's a lot of walking and grinding, right?
Yeah, I played it on PC, and it's pretty good. There are times though you'll be really frustrated with the game, and like you'll seriously want to quit. But
it's kind of like the real world of struggle and
Sometimes you just want to quit the real world. I know.
Your job, this job sucks
every day.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I mean, every game I have that. Any game that you're really invested in, like there's at least once a month where I'm playing Splatoon after after losing 3 matches in a row, I literally just want to slam the controller down and go, I hate this game. I literally say that every time. I'm never playing this game again. I hate this game so much. And then, the next day I'm playing it again. So
yeah, but I'm excited because, I mean, at least with the first one, I think it was largely non-combat. Is that safe to say, Aaron?
There was a little bit of combat in it, but yeah,
okay.
It was largely non-combat, but the fights were good.
Yeah. And I've never played a Kojima game. I must say, I've never played any of the Metal Gear.
Is this true? You never?
Because they were PlayStation games before I had PlayStation.
Why haven't you played them now?
And they seem so
they're
hard to get into in the modern context. Am I wrong? Do they hold up, these older Metal Gear games?
I haven't gone back and played any of the old ones.
I'd say starting with the GameCube era, PlayStation 2 era ones. They probably, I think they hold up. I never played them. I watched my brother play them a lot. That's back in the day, we didn't have Twitch. We had my siblings.
Yeah.
We would watch each other. He would watch me play Majora's Mask, and I'd watch him play Perfect Dark. And we'd go, that was what we did.
Original Twitch, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I never played it, but it was definitely one of those games where there's a lot going on in the story, and it's one of those games you can get pretty invested in, I feel like. Because they are really good games. Yeah. Because they're fun to watch. If it's fun to watch, it's a good game, I feel like, right?
I'm about to just check out a stream or something.
Yeah, you can do that. Honestly, just go to YouTube and Google or
or
YouTube.
the story. There might be a story version.
History of Metal Gear. Tell me about
a movie version,
and learn about it, and then watch it.
But
watch clip.
No date on this one. I think it's pretty far out, I'd imagine.
Yeah, probably.
And the other PlayStation announcement that was also PS5 exclusive was the Horizon Forbidden West DLC, where we go to Hollywood. That looks great. I'm excited. I lived in LA, Hollywood for about a year, and I'm excited to see how that translates into this far future world.
Wait, was this the VR thing?
No, this was separate from the VR thing.
So they had 2 Horizon.
They did.
Right?
This is coming out in April, the DLC to Horizon 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure.
And,
I thought that's what happened, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. And it looks great. Looks like it takes advantage of a mechanic you get late on in the game, which, as I was watching the trailer, it's like, this is such a huge spoiler if you know what you're looking for.
I didn't notice anything that, I think would spoil the game. It just looked cool. And I was
Yeah.
like, I want to play that now. Which up until this point, I was like not really wanting to play those games. I was like, I could pass. That trailer looked cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so I will be playing that. I finished Horizon 2 earlier this year, and really, really solid game, and excited to see what that DLC is all about. Especially since I live there, so that like adds more to it, I think. Diablo 4 is coming out the day after my birthday, June 6th.
Yeah.
I've never played a Diablo game. People seem to like these things.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just like an action RPG where you just run around and kill a bunch of stuff, and then you get loot, and then you do it again.
I always thought it was like a real-time strategy game where you're commanding armies. Is that not the case anymore?
No, I don't think that. No, that was never the case.
That was never the case.
You're crawling around in the dungeons and stuff,
Yeah.
and the layers of hell, and
Is it? Are you zoomed out a bunch, or is it more like God of War where you're zoomed in on your character?
You're zoomed out. It's like what's that view? It's kind of like old Zelda, you know?
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
you're, like up above.
it's like up above, but kind of at a slant.
Yeah,
Okay.
That makes sense.
I think it's called like isometric.
Isometric.
Yeah.
That sounds right. This is a game that this is a game again. My brother used to play the original Doom back on the PC.
Diablo.
We got bootleg copies of Diablo and Wolfenstein 3D, and that's what we played on PC back in the day. And it was cool. It looked really cool. I really like the old art style.
Yeah.
Obviously, these new games look really good, but I wouldn't mind having a re-release of like the OG games.
So they
Right.
did re-release Diablo 2.
I know. I really want the first one. They did release Diablo 2. Maybe I should check
Yeah.
that one out. Maybe it's worth checking out. Okay.
Yeah. People
Do them all. Do them all.
People seem to like this. We'll see.
I mean, people are still
I might
playing
check
the
it out.
original
We'll see.
Quake. You know, they still re-release Quake and stuff to this day. So come on.
Yeah. We got a Transformers game reactivate. Kind of weird.
Yeah, that was super weird. That was super weird.
I guess the developers made the Halo Master Chief Collection.
I think there's a new movie coming out or something.
I think there probably is.
So they're just, you know,
What? A Halo movie?
No,
Transformers.
Transformers.
Oh, okay.
They're just hawking the Transformer stuff.
And then one of the weirdest announcements: Crash Bandicoot hit the stage. And
Oh my god, that was
we
so
have CTR,
Yeah.
not
so
Crash
bad.
Team Racing, but Crash Team Rumble.
The game might be fun, but that was a weird
so
way
weird.
to introduce that game.
It was weird anytime they brought someone up on stage. Like they had what's his name for the first award. And like Al Pacino was that.
Oh,
That was weird.
yeah.
And he was like, "I can't read this because it's small print and we didn't practice."
He
Yeah.
had no idea. He was just started talking. But then I would have killed just to go back after we heard the other guy in his acceptance speech. I was
Yeah.
like, go back.
Well,
to
Al Pacino had to stay on stage and listen to his
Oh.
speech the
I
whole
know,
time.
he was being tortured.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, that was weird. Al Pacino, that's a weird one.
Yeah, that was very odd. And we got Idris Alba for Cyberpunk DLC.
yeah. That's gonna be
So-
pretty cool, I think.
I need to play that at some point. It's finally fixed. You know,
Yeah, you do need to play it. It's a good game.
you've played it through.
Yeah, well, I haven't finished it, but
Okay.
I can go finish it. From what I heard from a friend, I'm at the point
Okay.
where I can go and finish the game, but I'm having too much fun running around the open world and just shooting people.
Okay, I own it on PS5. I got it on a discount at some point. And I'm excited that Crash is alive and well. You know, so hopefully we'll get a Crash 5 at some point. I would have much preferred a Spyro 4 than this, though, because Crash 4 is phenomenal.
There was never a Spyro 4. They stopped at 3.
Well, they stopped, yeah, and then they stopped with 3 on Crash Bandicoot until they did a reboot many years later. Yeah.
But they did more. They just didn't keep numbering them. But
They have the Crash Team Racings. They had some spin-off games.
oh, okay, that's what it was.
Yeah. And then FromSoft had a fabulous night. So they announced Armored Core 6: Fires of Rubicon right before getting Game of the Year for Elden Ring. They're like, oh, coming next year, another Game of the Year contender, I'm sure. I've never played an Armored Core game. I'm excited to dive into this because I'm now a From Software fan, having played most of their modern titles and loving all of them. So,
yeah, I've only played one, and I don't even remember which one it was, but it was back on the original PlayStation. My brother and I used to just always play like the multiplayer.
yeah.
You could just like fight each other, and then you would unlock parts, and then you could upgrade like your robot, and it was fun.
And it's going to be a bit different from the Souls games I hear. It's not going to be the same mechanics of like that whole Souls upgrade cycle. But I'm excited to see just the boss, the one-on-one fights. I think will be just phenomenal with what they've learned from the Souls games. And it looks beautiful. It might be a cinematic, but it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And the last big announcement: Final Fantasy 16 hitting June 22nd.
Yeah,
I've never played a Final Fantasy game either, Aaron, and
you should
probably
play
should
Final
fix that.
Fantasy 15. That's a part of the PlayStation Plus thing.
that's the online play forever game.
No, 15 is the last like mainline entry. It's just
Okay.
a single player game, and there's a little screen at the beginning that says that it's like the perfect game for first timers. So
Okay. Yeah, it looked great. We'll see if I finally dip into this. I need to finish Final Fantasy 7 Part 1 because I do have that. So I need to, at some point, finish that.
yeah, 16 looks cool because it looks like it's going back to more of like a fantasy setting. It was like they were wearing like some armor and stuff, whereas like a lot of the more recent games have been kind of more like futuristic setting.
Gotcha. And then anything else Game Awards related? Stray won a couple of awards. Yeah. Oh, we have to talk about Flute Guy.
Oh yeah.
So Flute Guy was phenomenal. This guy was going to town the flute. He was changing. So for the music they were in for the Game of the Year, he was switching flutes like every 30 seconds. He had a bass flute,
or recorder.
he had a piccolo, he had a recorder. He definitely had a bass flute in there.
Switching.
Yeah, he was switching.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because they were going through all the games. It was
All the
like
games, yeah. And for the Xenoblade 3, he was really going to town with that. He was having the time of his life up there. It was great to see.
yeah, good for him, man.
Yeah. Xenoblade didn't win anything, did it?
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought it won something.
Best soundtrack.
I don't know.
I forget. God of War, I thought, won music.
Oh, maybe you're
RPG, maybe?
No, God of War won best art direction. Right?
Yeah, RPG, though, I thought maybe.
Oh, Xenoblade did not win anything. No.
Okay. It was nominated for some good stuff, though.
I saw Pokemon up there for best RPG. I thought people were going to boo it when they said its name. But that
Anything else?
Yeah, I was so like worried the whole time because I wasn't seeing.
You thought Elden Ring would not win.
Yeah, they weren't getting anything until like the end, and then suddenly they started winning stuff. But like every time they were up for something, it was like God of War.
God of War.
God of War.
Yeah.
And then Direction and Game of the Year were both Elden Ring, right?
Yeah, and also best role playing game.
Yeah. And Miyazaki was on stage to accept, which is cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
I missed the whole the whole weird. I walked away and was listening. I didn't catch the weird. What happened?
Yeah,
what I missed?
There's this kid, and apparently the night before he was playing Call of Duty with some people, and he said that he was going to the Game Awards and he was going to go on stage and do this. And these people didn't believe him, and so then he actually went and did it. And so, like, there's a bunch of screenshots online of people like texting each other, like, "Yo, he's actually doing it" and stuff because he said he was going to. And apparently, he just walked up on stage and he, waited for everyone else to say their part, and then he got on the mic and said, "I would like to dedicate this game to my Reform Orthodox Jewish Rabbi Bill Clinton."
That's all he said.
Yeah.
And then he was arrested promptly after that.
Yeah, and then he was arrested. I have no idea what it was about, but this guy apparently has been on InfoWars, and he's just like an infamous troll online. So, yeah.
And I'm sure next year they'll have tighter security.
Yep.
Because imagine if he had bad intentions.
Yeah. He could have got a backstab.
Yeah.
Just like
Miyazaki was right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't someone try to shoot Dave Chappelle or something?
Probably.
I do remember something about someone going up on stage recently. Dave
Yeah,
Chappelle.
man, you never know these days.
Me too.
But it did lead to a bunch of good memes online of Bill Clinton inside Elden Ring as a boss. So that was cool.
Yeah, I do wonder. Oh, Animal from the Muppets. I wonder if somehow Animal will make it into Death Stranding 2 as some kind of not a big part of it, but maybe like an Easter egg type thing.
I don't know.
I would kill for an open world Muppets game, man.
That'd be so good.
It'd be so good.
Have it in the one of the not Yarn Yoshi, but like kind of like arts, kind of whatever art style would fit that the best would be interesting.
Real life art, life style.
The material, the crafts.
It's all about
crafted world.
Memes in there, like
yep.
Make it really weird, like meme jump it. Remember, was that game called Meme Runner? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
I don't.
Never mind. It was on the Wii U shop for a little while. Anyways,
okay.
Just make it really weird. That's all I want. A weird open world game. I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Aaron, you've been playing more Elden Ring, I see.
Oh, yeah. I was playing Elden Ring probably for the last week or so. I'm just going through and trying to get platinum, but also kind of taking my time.
Okay.
And because I've already played the game, it's like, I don't know.
You played on PC originally, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I already know like the build that I wanted to do and everything. So I just went and got everything I wanted. And I'm already level like 83. And I haven't even fought like my third boss yet, like third main sword.
So you're just gonna ramp through these bosses.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was fun when I did New Game Plus. Just ramping through the first couple of bosses like it was nothing.
Mm-hmm. So it's
enjoyable still.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games now. It's so good.
It is. Yeah.
Y'all need to play it.
Yeah, I got the platinum on that one. So.
And we can all play together. We can all be summoned into John's world and help him play.
That's true. Oh, they announced
you can do that in this game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They announced some free DLC for that.
Yeah. So there's some PvP stuff. So you remember those Colosseums that you couldn't get into? Now you can open the doors, and inside of there's some PvP, and you can. So each one has like a different mode. So 1v1, 2v2, and 3v3 modes. So
very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not sure when I'll dip back into that game because I want to do Dark Souls 3 before, anything else in the From world. I think.
Oh, you haven't finished that one? Yeah.
I haven't started Dark Souls 3. That's the only one I have left to do.
Yeah.
So
I haven't played that, so I don't know. It looks good.
But Elden Ring, it's so good, isn't it? So good.
It is.
And you're playing the PS4 version on PS5, is that right?
No, I'm playing the PS5 version.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Why?
I don't know. I just picked it, and I was like, I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
So the only thing I
How's
was
performance? Because
concerned-
the thing is, like the PS4 version is the silky smooth way to play it.
So there's definitely some like pop in when you like teleport to like a new side of grace.
Mhm.
Like there's like a lot of trees or something that pop in like right when you teleport there. It's not a huge deal. I do. There is a couple of parts where there's like a lot of enemies on screen where it slows down a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think overall it's a pretty good experience.
Okay.
But I was concerned about the PS4 version being kind of jagged. Like when I played God of War 2018, like the anti-aliasing wasn't as heavy on PS4.
Yeah, I think the art style in Elden Ring really makes that, at least wasn't an issue for me. I'd be curious. You own both versions, the digital purchase, right? I'd be curious if you launched that and see what it was like and see which one's more appealing to you.
Yeah.
The thing is, you can import a PS4 save into the PS5 copy, but you can't do it backwards. So that's why I start with PS4, because if I want to play it again and do New Game Plus, I can experience the New Game Plus on the PS5 with my full save file intact. But anyways, yeah.
Well, now I have a new capture card. I can do some tests of the PS4, PS5, and PC versions of the game. See what it looks like.
That'll be cool. What else have you been up to?
Oh, I've been playing RuneScape. So RuneScape has their holiday event going on. There's like Yak Track, for those who know what Yak Track is. It's a lot of fun. And you just get a bunch of awards. I recently renewed my Premier membership for the next year. I got my RuneScape membership.
This is mobile, or
you need a membership?
You don't need a membership. You can play the game free, and you can even spend like your in-game money to buy bonds that you can then trade for real subscriptions too. So you can play the game totally free if you want. But this like Premiere thing, it was like a lot of bonds, and I was like, I don't have that much money, so I'm just gonna pay my $80. But it's worth it, because then you get the whole world opens up to you, not just like the free to play area.
I mean, it's free to play, so you're paying for the game. Yeah.
And you get a bunch of bank space. And each month they give you special like rewards. And what's pretty cool is they unlock things from the past. So the game's like 20 some years old now, and you can't get things, from previous years. But if you pay for this membership, each month you get like a token that you can go get something old.
From the Disney Vault.
Yep. It actually is called a vault. So.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
I think Fortnite has a vault too.
Yeah.
Do you have any big holiday break gaming plans, Aaron?
No. I just want to finish playing Elden Ring and then move on to something else, but I don't know what's next.
Your goal with Elden Ring is to platinum.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about Spider-Man? You never played Spider-Man, did you?
I started it on PC, but I didn't finish it because then I got my PS5.
That's right.
There you go.
My PC.
Yeah.
So, Aaron, are you going to follow a guide to do the 3 main endings so you can scum your way into not needing to play it 3 times in a row?
Yeah, I think so. Because I've already played it like through already twice at this point. So this will be my 3rd playthrough. So I will have.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, quite honestly. With PS Plus, you just like upload your save file, download it once you get that ending.
Yeah.
Cool. John, what have you been up to?
Well, I've been playing games, obviously. I've been playing Tetris Connected a lot. It is a lot of fun. I'm really digging it. It's great because I can zone out, play.
It's like a meditation almost.
It's like a meditation. Yeah, exactly. I've been putting the headphones on as I play on the Switch. But it's also a great game because I can catch up on some TV shows while I play because it's also mindless because it's Tetris.
Yes.
I'm about level 20 now.
Okay.
Almost done through all the little worlds they got you going through. My favorite so far has probably been like the gear world, where all the Tetris pieces are gears.
Yeah.
This game,
the city one's really cool with the saxophone.
yeah. The music. I mean, some of the levels, the piano level especially, where as you're moving the pieces,
Oh, yeah.
the notes on the piano, really, super fun. So I'm loving
My favorite
that.
tracks are the voice tracks where they have vocals.
Because
The
some of
lyrics
them
are spot
weird.
on.
Yeah, some of them are weird.
They're weird.
Some of the vocals are super strange. But digging that, playing Splatoon 3 and Last of Us, I have next week off. I have next week off until the day after Christmas. So I'm going to like plow down and just like, because I didn't want to play Last of Us when I was doing, like, I really wanted to like get in there,
Focus.
Yeah.
focus. So I'm going to spend all my time
Yeah.
playing through this game. That'll be exciting. And
You're playing on standard difficulty for Last of Us?
whatever, standard.
Okay.
You should
Cool.
try Survivor, the hardest.
I would start with the standard, John, so you don't get frustrated.
I'm starting with standard. I went and changed some of the stuff so they spawn less. Like I made some of the, which is really cool. Like there's a lot of good settings in there.
Yeah, the accessibility is top notch. Like being able to customize your experience.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. I'm really curious if they bring the second one as a remaster to PlayStation.
Yeah, I don't. There's no rumors of it. I don't know if
or a remake.
it's so recent. And like, I'm not sure if you've seen this, Aaron, but the Last of Us Part 2, it looks like a PS5 game. It's some magical voodoo. Like the PS3 version of Last of Us kind of looks like a PS4 game at time, and the Last of Us Part 2 kind of looks like a PS5 game. Like they really squeeze. What's that?
When did Part 2 come out?
It was June of the year before the summer before PS5 hit in fall, like just a couple months before.
Oh, so it's pretty. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it was like the swan song.
Looks pretty good. Yeah. Cool. So that's not even.
Yeah, but yeah, if there was a season 2 of Last of Us on HBO, I wonder if it'd launch with that as a way to, kind of.
Did they confirm like how deep this season's going?
I believe they said it's going to end with Part 1.
Oh, really? So the season is Part 1. Okay.
I think so.
Okay.
And the TV show is going to include like stuff they couldn't fit into the game, but was written for it originally.
Cool.
So like the deleted stuff that just didn't fit in pacing wise or whatever for a game, but works in a TV show. So I'm excited for that. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's cool.
So is it going to be like a weekly like thing or
yeah, Sunday nights?
Oh man, I don't.
Sunday nights on HBO.
I might just wait until.
Yeah.
I like the weekly drops. I enjoy those.
I don't mind it because it kind of gives you the option if you want to watch it weekly, but you can also do like Aaron said and just wait, and then you're kind of getting the binge thing.
Yeah.
The only problem with the weekly is sometimes like if I'm not into a show, it gives me more reason to just be like, well, I'm never watching that and never watching
That's
that.
true. For shows you love and are into, it's great.
Yeah.
Because you get to enjoy it longer. But yeah.
Yeah. I also like it does give you time to like think about it and like
you get to simmer on it, yeah.
And talk with people online if you like, follow, I don't know, if you're on Twitter or like Reddit or something. So there's benefits to both, but like some shows, like I watched the first season of White Lotus and I liked it a lot. It was really good. I didn't think it warranted a second season. I thought the story wrapped up pretty well. And then they're like, there's a season 2. And I have not even started it because I'm just waiting for it to finish. I'm going to watch it.
It has ended, I believe.
I think it did. So I think I'm going to do that.
I haven't watched season 1. I should watch that show, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a murder, mystery sort of thing going on.
Okay.
But, if you like Knives Out, you might like this. It's kind of got a similar vibe a little bit.
Okay.
Speaking of Knives Out, there's a new movie, right? Glass Onion.
I know.
Yeah, December 23rd on Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
I had a shocking discovery today that Avatar 1 is only available in 1080p for home release. There's not been a Blu-ray. There's not a digital version. Disney Plus says it 1080p. iTunes says it's shocking. They have not released this in 4K yet.
It's actually not shocking. You want to know?
It's like it's a spectacle of a film, and it's not available in 4K. What's going on, James Cameron?
Well, the thing with upresing film. So you go back to film, you can.
But they released this in theaters in September as a 4K print.
Was it a 4K print? Was it an actual 4K resolution?
Yeah, and they're releasing Blu-ray in 2023 of Avatar in 4K. Because it was IMAX 3D. Yeah,
a lot of this is digital. Like every frame is digital.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't upscale. Like a lot of that stuff. When you look at some of the Marvel movies, a lot of them they have 4K parts, but anything with digital effects is actually stuck at like 4K or
which is why like the Star Wars prequels can only do so much with the upscaling.
Well, and really only because it takes so much processing power to go through each frame and generate computer graphics. To do that from like, I'm not saying they couldn't do it. But
they are releasing a 4K HDR print on Blu-ray next year, and it was in theaters as a re-release this year. So it's just shocking that they didn't release a 4K print for home release. I don't know.
Maybe I could. I'm curious because I don't know. I'm into like movie tech and kind of like stuff like that. So I know like a lot of movies these days that have digital effects. Like those digital effects are just kind of stuck in a weird resolution because of rendering and like how they process that stuff and versus actual film.
Yeah, I wonder with Pixar movies, do they go back and re-output those in higher resolutions?
It depends on how they. I guess. That's a good question.
Like, do they go back to Toy Story 1 and do a fresh export from Final Cut Pro?
I know WALL-E just released in 4K, I think, for the first time.
Yeah.
No, that's a good question. Yeah. I have no idea. Obviously, they've done it with animated movies. Animated movies scale a little bit easier, though. I think the big problem with the like mixed is stuff. It's like it's mixed in with film. Like when they do the prints onto the film, the resolution stuck on the film as that resolution was when it was made versus a digital movie, which is digital from the start.
Yeah. I watched the Fablemans last night. It's out on home release. Spielberg's new movie about his childhood, and super good. And it's just fun to see.
Did you cry? Was it sad?
I had some tears. I didn't do a full out cry, but there were a couple emotional moments. It was really cool to see him edit in like the old, editing styles before software was around to do this.
The old
and he's like splicing stuff in for gunshot effects. He'd like poke a needle hole through like the gun.
Cool, yeah. The old tricks, man.
Yeah. It's Fablemans, highly recommended. It's out on iTunes and other places right now. So this I have here, you may think this is a Switch, but it's actually an iPhone with a backbone controller.
I got one here.
Yeah. So I've started to use this a little bit here. And it feels super good. It is kind of annoying with Game Pass. The buttons do say A, X, and Y, and I kind of forget at times which button is which.
It's easy. It's just like Nintendo, except reversed.
Yeah. So, but it's been a pretty good experience overall. That controller connects over the Lightning port, so there's no Bluetooth to mess around with there. It feels like a dedicated handheld, basically. And streaming, even on my crappy home internet, was working really well. So I've done the first couple missions in Halo, probably a couple hours worth, and overall, very good experience. When I leave the game and come back to it occasionally, it does need to just like relaunch it, and that could take a minute or so. But super, highly recommended if you can get a backbone at a decent price. I really want to start using it for remote play, but I've been too busy with Persona 5 Royal on the Switch to do that. I'm 40 hours in. I'm up through August in the school year calendar. Story's really phenomenal. We were talking last week about how Pokemon should have voice acting, and this game shows you how a 80 to 120 hour RPG can have full voice acting in both English and Japanese, and that is just stunning. You have these long. It's like a comic book style of a game, and I'd say 80% of the text on the screen, you can listen to it being spoken either. I have it in Japanese, but it's also in English for the voiceover, and you can listen to the full voice acting. That is just super impressive that they do this. I guess it's in all the Persona games. It's like a marquee feature of them.
Yeah.
And it looks beautiful on the OLED Switch. There's lots of blacks and good contrast, and it's a comic book, so like the art style just looks perfect. Performance is not an issue because it's a comic book. Like it's not like the style is in the style of this game is just perfect for Switch. And you can only save at certain points in this game, which is also a great thing for Switch because you can just put to sleep, you do something and wake it back up. You're back where you started. On PlayStation, if I had to like turn the console off, I would have to get to a save point. So it's much better here for my usage. And there's a cool mechanic. So the whole time thing. So you have a choice in your off hours when you're not in the dungeon. So like you have morning, afternoon, evening, after school. You have these different time chunks, and you get to decide: do I want to learn a bit of knowledge or charm, or you can go to the gym and get some extra SP and HP at the gym. So you can, outside of your character leveling up, level up those stats. So you can have a character at level 20, but the HP of someone at level 50 just by going to the gym and focusing on that. So I have this character with all sorts of HP and SP outside of my leveling up, which is really cool because I've been focusing on the gym as well as doing the other stats as well. But I've been going to the gym a lot in that game, and my character is pretty beefed up. The characters are cool. I understand now why people have raved about Persona for many, many years. And I'd highly recommend this game if someone wants a meaty, good performant game on the Switch. And I'm excited to probably do Persona 4 Golden in a couple of months, as that's also coming to the Switch. So, any thoughts on the game, Aaron, from what you've experienced?
Well, I played Persona 4 Golden on the Vita back in the day, and I actually kept my Vita TV just for that game. So I have.
You have a Vita TV still?
Yeah, I have the Vita TV, and I have that game cartridge. And I haven't played it in a long time, but it's a lot of fun. Persona 5, though, I started it up. I got maybe like a couple hours in, and then I started playing other stuff. But I was playing it first on my Xbox Series S, and it looked all right. But then I was like, wait a second, let me see if this is on PC so I could play it 4K, and it is, and it looks way better on PC. And
excellent.
Yeah.
And the dungeons are great. Each dungeon's very unique. You're like basically stealing someone's heart. So you go in and this bad person, you steal their heart to make them realize the error of their ways. So you're like entering like a bank, and you're entering like a school, and like there's these different themed dungeons that resolve around this evil person's deepest, darkest desires, and really cool concept. And time doesn't move forward when you're in there, so you can spend as long as you want inside a dungeon, and you won't screw up your time thing. You can just spend a bunch of time in there.
But when you're out and you're like, you have to pick up sort of like how you want to build your character.
Yeah, so like, and you have to pick out your time.
Yeah, so if you spend your time in the gym, then you're gonna miss out like building up your relationships with your friends.
And I have been there's this cell phone, you kind of get the text message thread, which is another cool mechanic. And I have been responding to that, and if there is a availability to do a relationship thing, I will do that. And sometimes you're locked out from going out at night, and when I'm locked out, I will do the proficiency stuff by crafting or going and studying. So character is pretty well balanced. I have level 3 or 4 for most of the skills at this point, out of 5, I believe. So I'm doing pretty well with building up the character and building some good relationships. I have one relationship up to star 7. So yeah, this is one fantastic game, and I'm listening to the audio quite a bit because it's really good. The voice acting is phenomenal.
There's a lot of good music.
Yeah,
but yeah,
great music, great style. Like it's a comic book, and it kind of shows some of the battle animations and really cool. And then God of War Ragnarok. I just experienced the moment where Atreus says, "This is the last bit before we're basically ending the story. Anything you want to do?" So, Aaron, I have to ask you, as someone that's finished this game, is there anything I should do before doing the rest of the story here? Because I'm at the very last mission here.
If you're not having any trouble with combat, then just go and do the end of the game, because it continues afterwards.
The true ending is like this side mission after.
And plus you get to play with a better companion character.
Cool,
in my opinion.
And I just got the final upgrade material for my chains, so I'm gonna upgrade that fully as well. So I'm gonna tonight, hopefully late tonight, I will embark on the final bit of the story.
I finished with all of my weapons, I think around like level 6, so I didn't get a lot of the upgrade materials until afterwards.
Okay, when
I was going for platinum. So
I'm about 25 hours into the story, and a lot of people are saying it's like a 40-hour game, and I'm sure it is if you platinum it.
It took me like 39 hours to platinum, I think. I think I finished the story around 30. So but super beautiful. I've cried multiple times. This is a heart-wrenching story. Very emotional ride. Last night I was in tears. Some of the stuff's really heavy. John, you need to play it.
It's got some moments. It's got some moments that are just bombastic as well.
But the story is so good. Like the writing, like how did they write that in? Like that part that you're talking about. Like how did we not see?
Yeah, John, after Last of Us, I would encourage you to play 2018 and Ragnarok back to back. It's an experience.
I've never played any God of War game. Is that where you start?
Great place to start. I played them prior to 2018, but really you don't need to experience those. God of War 3 holds up really well. There's a PS4 version of that. That's great, but totally unnecessary and something you could probably experience after the fact.
Okay. Cool.
And then I think that is it for today's show. Next episode, we'll be doing our year in review with in our game of the years. So lots to talk about there. PlayStation basically told me I'd play nothing but From Software this year, so pretty accurate. But kind of a big end of the year. Lots of stuff going on here. And excited to finish up God of War and dive into more Persona 5. So, John, any words of wisdom to close out the show?
Be true to yourself and true to your school.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, also forgot to mention Jedi.
Don't be a sheep.
Jedi Fallen Order 2. That trailer came out.
Oh yeah.
The Game Awards. Looks phenomenal. That's coming out in March as well. So,
yeah, I might have to get that and the one that came before it since I didn't play it.
Yeah, you should play the first one. It's good. There's PS5 version as well.
There is.
There is. It got upgrade for PS5. It's like optimized for it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron? Anything to close out the show?
Keep it real, I guess. There you go. That's my words of wisdom. Keep it real.
Keep it real. Sounds good. Well, cool deal. We'll be back next time for level 209, I believe. And have a good Christmas or holidays. We'll be chatting, I believe, right after that. So hopefully Santa's nice to everyone this year. Bye-bye.